Update. Me, 29 male, with my 28-year-old girlfriend of 2 years. Her mom wants her to explore other options, and it's wearing us down. Original post. Brief backstory. I met her mom once at a wedding and it didn't go as planned. It wasn't awful and I didn't make an ass out of myself or anything like that. I just didn't have a conversation with her as much as she would have liked, I guess. I was just so distracted by friends and the usual wedding antics. This is the one and only time we've met in person. I've met the dad a few times, and we're cool. That was a year ago. Since then, she's always had a slight distaste for me. She doesn't hate me, but she never gave me another chance. I recently found out she argues with my girlfriend very passionately about how I'm not the right one, and how my girlfriend should date other people. These arguments have been happening every time they come to town, or my girlfriend visits them, at least once or twice a month, and apparently it got really intense last week. My girlfriend says her mom had a nervous breakdown halfway through the argument, while my girlfriend was defending me and giving her the reasons why she likes me. She's extremely stubborn, and I think that's being generous. She does this to my girlfriend's dad too, always mentioning how she could have had another life without him, wishes she dated more, etc. By the way, they married in their late 30s. So now, there's this guy. I don't know his name or who he is. My girlfriend's mom knows him through one of her friends, her son. She keeps asking my girlfriend to go on a date with him, and gets more adamant about it every time my girlfriend mentions me. Lo and behold, my girlfriend buckled and accepted the date. She says it's the best solution to the problem, that maybe if she just goes on one date and explains to her mom why she didn't like him, then it'll thaw the situation. The date is being set up as we speak. I'm torn. Of course I didn't agree with it. I asked what my girlfriend would think if I were to do that, and she said it would hurt her a lot. I know it's only one date, but I can't stand the thought of another guy trying to put the charm on my girlfriend. Also, if I give up my self-respect by giving in, her mom will walk all over me every time. I thought of every alternative under the sun, even told my girlfriend to mention to the guy that she's already dating someone. I got furious when she told me she wouldn't ruin the date by saying that. As much as I tried to think of an alternative, I got shot down, and it made me think that maybe my girlfriend's mom finally got inside her head, and now she does want to date other people. She even said, well, if the date happens soon, I can't say no, after I asked her to buy us some time by putting off the date until we figure out a rational solution. She did have one good idea, though, to write her mom a letter letting her know that I'm aware of the situation and that I would love to meet her one day. Just a simple and nice letter explaining why we've come this far and how much the situation means to me. I already did, and I'm planning to send it out once we proofread it together. However, I feel like the situation has already worn us down, to the point that we both feel like we're on different wavelengths all the time. The part that hurts the most is that we had a perfect relationship with each other, and we never did anything to hurt one another, until this got in the way and made things awkward between us. I'm not sure what to do or how to approach it. It's depressing my girlfriend, and trying to buy time has taken a mental toll on both of us. I don't want her to go on the date at all. I would never forgive myself for letting it happen without trying my own approach first. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Well, your girlfriend needs a backbone, for one. She's 28 for God's sake. Why is she letting her mother do this at all? Honestly, I can't believe she accepted the date and doesn't plan to ruin it by telling the dude she's had a boyfriend for 2 years. I mean, 2 years. It's not like this is casual. You are not out of line telling her that going on this date is going to be a deal breaker for you. I've been with my boyfriend for just over 2 years, and if either of us accepted a date, no matter how reluctant we acted over it, the other would be done. That's not something you do in a relationship, especially when your partner has already voiced not being okay with it. It's not something you even consider doing. So if your girlfriend is giving in to her mother and going out with this dude, it means she's retracted her investment in making your relationship work. She's not committed enough to you to be a grown woman and stand up to her own mother. And she has to know that this will not cause her mother to back down, ever. The only thing that will cause her mother to shut up is for your girlfriend to stop listening. To tell her that she wants a relationship with her, but if she ever utters another word about this, the phone gets hung up or she walks out of the room. It's not that hard to say that. It's not that hard to do that. You have some serious evaluation to do here. I certainly hope she hasn't retracted her investment in our relationship. If she has, she's doing a great job convincing me otherwise. I think she's grown tired of trying to stand up to her mother about this situation, but I have no idea how firmly she stood her ground in past arguments. I'm glad she's out of town at the moment. It gives both of us a chance to gather our thoughts. Thank you for your response. I think this is the closest to my logical perspectives about it. If your girlfriend goes on this date, you have to dump her. Period. I know that's pretty black and white, but it really is at that point. If your girlfriend chooses to do something that boneheaded and disrespectful to your relationship, there's no salvaging it, and it will never be right again. It may already be at that point just for her agreeing to it and expecting you to stomach it. This is exactly what I told her. If she goes on the date, I will have to seriously evaluate her role in our relationship, as it will be a direct indication of how much she considers my side. I have enough self-respect to the point where I've already told her that there is no way on earth I would allow this to happen, because it would take that self-respect away from me. I'm not the type to sit around and let things be taken away from me. I agree with everyone who said we need to intercept her now, or she'll think she can call the shots forever. Edit. Thank you all for the responses. I assure you that I've read each and every one, and I'm trying to respond to them while I'm at work. I would also like to add that if my girlfriend does choose to go on the date, she is doing so against her own judgment and plans to keep it as brief as possible. Still doesn't make it any more appropriate, but I just thought it would be fair if I cleared that up. Edit 2. Her mom doesn't want us to break up, but she just has this insane belief that my girlfriend should keep the relationship open until she decides exactly who she wants to be with. This is dumb for 2 reasons. 1. My girlfriend has dated quite a bit and knows what she wants. 2. We've been getting along incredibly well for the past 2 years, and for some reason her mom is convincing herself that it's not genuine. Possible underlying issues. Edit 3. Thank you all for continuing the discussion with me. I have a pretty clear picture of what I should do now when she gets back into town. I will post an update after we have a conversation about it. In the meantime, I ask you all to believe in the ones you love. Now for the update. So I had a talk with my girlfriend last night. Told her to basically put her foot down now, or we'll have to suffer her mother's toxicity for the rest of our lives. She said there was no way she could do that to her mother. We argued about it for 2 hours. I told her that she needs to grow a backbone, because if not with me, her mother will control every other aspect of her life and continually cause unwanted misery toward her and everyone she decides to date. Then it came out that the date I mentioned in the post has been set up, and she's agreed to see him. I blew my lid and told her that disrespects me, our relationship, and herself. She even admitted that her mother has, in fact, manipulated her into believing that having an open relationship is a great idea. I lost all respect and trust for her, and there's no way to earn it back. She said she would compromise by going on one coffee date with this guy just once, and we'd take a break for a month for the sake of leaving things amicably. I agreed to the compromise, but I told her once I walk out, the chances of her seeing me again are slim to none. She cried about that, and for once, I didn't feel sympathy for her. I comforted her while she was crying, but my mind was already checked out. I'm curious what the next month will bring. She said she would still like to keep in contact with me in some way, but I'm not intent on contacting her anytime soon. I'm just pissed that I left some books there that I was currently in the middle of reading. Maybe I'll just shoot her a text in a couple months to pick up my books. What hurts the most is that we had such a great relationship together. We got along well. Our arguments were few and very far in between, and usually ended on a good note. It was a perfect relationship, but an external force caused the downfall. It hurts because I had no control, and I basically had to give up an incredible relationship for the sake of pleasing someone that only matters to a certain extent. I just feel so defeated, and I never had a chance to defend myself or fight back. If we hated each other, I would understand, but we didn't. This breakup will suck for a while, I'll admit that. I've never been in a relationship like this before. It was so great. Then it became a train wreck, literally overnight. Edit. I just want to make one thing clear. I haven't actually agreed to the compromise. I'm just a nice person at heart and didn't want to storm out of there with a big FU attached to the story. Please remember that we had some great times and I still think she's a kind person. Maybe not toward me or herself, but we're all human after all. I only half-heartedly accepted a compromise so we could have an amicable split. Of course I won't take her back after a month or follow through with the compromise. I lost respect and trust for her. You're not the only one. Seriously, your ex is pathetic, and you are doing the right thing by removing yourself from this situation, since she has no desire to do anything but what her mother tells her to. Funny she admitted to losing her self-respect as well. Most of the commenters are flaming your ex because she chose her mother over you and her future. It's sad that she has such devotion to her mother that she lets her screw up her life, but some children have a tough time cutting the apron strings. I'm sure that one day soon, your ex will wake up and realize that she's let her mother mess up a perfect relationship. In the movies, girls like her end up marrying losers, having 10 kids and forever thinking about the one that got away. I told her this, not in those exact words, but I did tell her that her mother will make her miserable for the rest of her life, and this situation will bite her in the butt when she least expects it. Jesus, this is not a problem two people near 30 should be having. Ugh, my husband has a friend in his 40s who just got out of a situation like this. He and his wife, who's just a few years younger than him, had been together something like 10 to 15 years, and 5 to 6 years ago, her insane, apparently borderline mother decided the friend wasn't good enough for her. She also started accusing him of all this weird stuff. They lived with her parents for a while, and he's the nicest guy in the world, but the mother started inventing all these offenses to justify her hatred, on top of insisting he'd never make enough money to support the wife. Cue years of indecision on the wife's part. They eventually separated and were living in different countries, kinda together and kinda not. At one point, she finally said she wanted to move here and get back together, and then somehow it all fell apart and they're finally getting a divorce. I've heard enough about the mother and her toxic manipulations to feel a tiny bit of sympathy for her daughter, but I mostly felt disgust. This woman is in her mid to late 30s and training to be a therapist, and she still could not free herself from her mother's control. Luckily, the friend is now in a relationship with a woman he really likes. This might be petty, but I hope his ex sees pictures of him together with his new girlfriend and finally realizes what an idiot she was and what she's lost. All for a toxic, controlling, evil woman who doesn't care about her daughter's happiness or well-being. Last story. How can my husband 61 male and I 60 female help our son 32 male move past his high school girlfriend? My husband and I are at our wits' end with our son's inability to get over his high school girlfriend. They broke up in 2011. Yes, you read that right. It has been that long since he even saw this girl, after having dated for about 2 years. At the time, I did fully empathize with him. He had moved away for college while she stayed behind. They made efforts to see each other and talked frequently, but as I understand it, she began a relationship with someone else while she was still in one with my son. She at least had the decency to end things with my son in person, and did admit she was wrong in not having broken up with him before taking up with a new boyfriend. Nonetheless, my son was devastated by this, and we supported him as best we could at the time. I think he might have moved on in time, were it not for the fact that his ex-girlfriend then almost immediately married the young man. I believe he was in the military, hence the young marriage. This fact sent my son into a spiral, which has continued in some form or another over the last 14 years. Back then, I thought the marriage was unlikely to last long, and that when it ended, he'd feel some kind of vindication and drop it. But our son checks her social media frequently, though we have strongly advised him against this and says they are still married and have children. My son has had a few girlfriends in the last 14 years. But none that have lasted long, and even during the times he has been attached, he still continues to talk about how wronged he was. We see him very frequently, and while his ex is not our only topic of discussion, she does come up in some way almost every time we see him. We probably know more about her life now than we did while they were dating. We have allowed him to vent, but did eventually set boundaries around abusive language. For a time, he favored a few words to describe her, beginning with S and W mainly, that I don't care for, and to his credit, he has stopped that. But for all I know, he's only stopped saying them around us. In general, we employ the tactic of nod and agree, then change the subject. It's like he cannot resist an opportunity to bring her up. This past weekend, things came to a head when our son made an offhand comment about his ex. My husband responded by shouting at our son to get over it already, that we were sick of hearing about a girl he dated more than a decade ago, and that he needed to stop all mention of her around us. I asked my husband to go in another room and take a breather, and when he did, I suggested to my son that if he truly cannot move past this, we help him seek some sort of therapy or other intervention. He responded by immediately leaving and has not responded to any of my texts or calls since. I wish my husband had not shouted, but I am right there with him. This has gone on too long and we have enabled the behavior. I've even wondered if he'd still be bringing her up if we had put our foot down about this before. Anytime we have pushed back in any way or challenged any assertion he made about his ex or their relationship, he has become very upset. So we defaulted to just let him vent. I do not think he has done any more than stalk her social media, but I feel this has long been unhealthy and may require an intervention of some kind. I'm hoping he comes around in the next few days, but I am unsure how to broach the topic again without further upsetting him. I'm actually more worried about the ex-girlfriend. Your son's obsession has really turned into anger if he's calling her the derogatory names like that and creepily stalking her social media posts. He is unstable and borderline dangerous at this point. Please reach out to her and have her make her profile private and let her know what's going on with your son in case he ever tries to show up, because if your son is refusing to get help, it's the least you can do. I did attempt to do this once on Facebook about 6 years ago, but discovered she had blocked me. I have no other social media unless email counts, and I don't have her email address. I don't know whether she has my son blocked. My assumption is that if I'm blocked, so is he, and he's found a way around that somehow. Professional help is the best way. Maybe you can offer to bankroll it or help if you are able as an incentive. I think this is what we'll have to do. I won't be able to force him into anything, but at least I can pay for it if and when he agrees therapy is in his best interest. It's also not too late to set that "don't mention her in front of us" rule. Yes, I wish we had done it earlier.